everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you the part 2 of the second lesson, and I have already explained the part 1 video of the second lesson. So you can check it out in the link given in the description box, or can click the upper card there. So today we are going to talk about the part 2. So that's the capture of the Kandian kingdom by the English. How do the Kandian kingdom were captured by the English? They captured the Kandian kingdom under twice. They invaded the Kandian kingdom twice, in 1803 and in 1815. In the 1803 invasion, they maintained a healthy relationship between the Kandian king and the people, and they launched the invasion, but it was failed. In 1815, the Kandian king had lost the faith among his people, and the English were able to capture the Kandian kingdom and achieve their goal. So then, first let's talk about how do the 1803 invasion was happened, the reasons and the way they captured. So English were not happy and they were disappointed as they could not capture the Kandian kingdom. Kandian kingdom existed as a separate kingdom in a separate island. Like that way, they were not happy. The English were not happy about this. Therefore, the governor Frederick North also wanted to capture the Kandian kingdom and make the country a colony of the British. So then, there were some causes why the English want to invade the Kandian kingdom. The first one is people in the areas where the English were ruling were considered the Kandian king as to be their king as well. So the English thought, the second one is the English thought that the Kandian king will support the struggles which were there in the low country areas against the English. Now, low country area was captured by the English. All other than the Kandian kingdom, all other areas were captured by the English. So the people who were in the areas of the English were considered the Kandian king as to be their king. Second one is English thought that the Kandian king will support the struggles which were in the low country areas against the English. The third one is the Kandian kingdom. The Kandian kingdom was a barrier to maintain the relationship between Colombo and Trincomalee along the land routes. So the English were having some relationship between the Colombo and Trincomalee, because the Trincomalee is the harbor. From Trincomalee they are getting food and all of those. So the main the trading was happened from Trincomalee to Colombo, and that land route was being a barrier because of the Kandian king. And the fourth one is the English fear that the Kandian king will take the support from the French to fight against the English and repel the English. What are the four causes for this 1803 invasion? The English thought that the people who were in the areas where the English were captured were considered the Kandian king to be their king. Second one is English thought that the Kandian king will support for the riots which were in the low country areas. Third, the Kandian king was a barrier to maintain relationship between Colombo and Trincomalee. Fourth one is English were feared that the Kandian king will take the support from the French to fight against the English. So after the death of King Rajadhiraj Singh was died on 1798. At that time, there were two princesses who were able to were able to have an equal right to the throne. They are Prince Kannasamy and Prince Muttusamy. Who are the two princes? Prince Kannasamy and Prince Muttusamy. Prince Kannasamy was ascended in the throne as King Sri Vikramaraj Singh, and the Prince Muttusamy also had the right to the throne. Prince Kannasamy received the support from Pilimatalaya Mahadikaram and became the king of Kandy after Rajadhiraj Singh. Then Prince Muttusamy, who also had the right to the throne, fled to English to give him the protection. So English gave him the protection. In 1800, Governor North, who was Governor Frederick North, sent an army which was led by General McDowell to Kandy. And he sent his army to made efforts to get King Sri Vikramaraj Singha agreed for their condition by showing their military power and those things. Then later the governor North made so that at that time the efforts were not expected results. The king did not agree for their conditions. The king at that time was very brave, and he has an intelligent he has own intelligence about this, so he was not afraid for the English. So later the governor North had made arrangements to invade the Candian kingdom in 1803, as that result was not resulted. So he thought of invade the Candian kingdom in 1803. The 1803 invasion was led by General McDowell and Governor Frederick North, and both of them sent two troops from Colombo and Trincomalee. One from Colombo and another one from Trincomalee. These armies entered to the Kandy city in February 1803. In February 1803, these armies were entered the city of Kandy. The English who captured the city of Kandy put Prince Muthuswami as the king of Kandian kingdom, and King Sri Vikramaraj Singha has went for hide. He had hide, and Kandians, the Kandian people, refused to accept Muthuswami as their king because Muthuswami was loyal to the English. So as Muthuswami was a person who was loyal to the English, they did not accept Muthuswami as their king. They thought that they want King Sri Vikramaraj Singha. So the Kandians were getting ready to attack the English. The Kandians were really they were very talented at that time, and they thought of launching the attack until the rainy season arrived. So when the rainy season arrived, the Kandians launched the attack by blocking all the English main routes. They blocked the Colombo, which provides the food and other things to the English was being blocked, and they had been blocked different areas, so that the English was suffered. As a result, English army got different things. They suffered a lot from different things. They had a food shortage because the Colombo route was blocked, and they catch diseases such as malaria. And the English army has realized that they were facing the death, and they tried to go away. They were trying to fight away from this Kandians attack. So as the Kandians had blocked all the access route, they had no anything to retreat also. So King Sri Vikramaraj Singha ordered the English to hand over Prince Muthuswami so that the English can go away from Kandy. So as they have to give Prince Muthuswami, and Prince Muthuswami had to died, and he was died, and English failed this attack. Then let's talk about who is this Governor Thomas Maitland. After Governor Frederick North, Thomas Maitland was appointed as the governor of Sri Lanka in 1805. In 1805, he was appointed, and Governor Thomas Maitland was more talented than Frederick North. He realized that they could not able to capture Kandy without having a healthy relationship between the king and the people. So the Governor Maitland appointed some key features for the strategic policy, and he had appointed a very employed and a skillful person called John Doyle to have put some internal disputes between the Kandian kingdom and collect the information secretly from Kandian kingdom. So what he had done is he employed a skillful officer called John Doyle for this one. So then let's talk about who is the John Doyle. John Doyle was born in England in 1774 and came to Sri Lanka as a government officer for his education. So while serving in the country as a this officer has been served as a public administration service and the civil service. John Doyle studied Sinhala language also. So John Doyle also studies Sinhala language. He has 8 these bulat to show that he was a pure Buddhist and as a Sinhalese people. So that the Kandian people will think that he is a good English person. Look how he is, and he was being appreciated by others. So, and also he has learned Sinhala language by 2 monks. 2 monks, and also so John Doyle has started to capture the Kandian kingdom according to John Doyle's mission. The Robert Browning had to finish the task with John Doyle. However, the credit goes to Robert Browning. So then Ahaleppala and Eknaligoda took the support of the British to expel the Vadiga king Rajasinghe. So due to the alcohol and the feedback of Kandian, Nilames and King Rajasinghe became more cruel. So this problem started with the murder of Mahadigar Pilimatalawe and with aristocrats, British invaded the Kandy in year 1815. So let's talk about all of those in the next part. So the internal power struggle in the Kandian kingdom. How do the internal power struggle was done in the Kandian kingdom? So there were disputes between the king and the high-ranking nobles, with the king and the bhikkhus, with the top nobility, and with the king and the general public for systems. So if we talk about how do the king had disputes between the king and high-ranking nobles, was there are 5 reasons. So first one is which duties which were assigned for the aristocrats were assigned to king's Nayak relatives. Second one is king have give punishments for these aristocrats and ill-treated the citizens. The king has killed Pilimatalaya Mahadikara. Fourth one, some parts of the Kandian kingdom where the power of aristocracy has been increased by dividing into small administrative units, such as dividing Sabaragama into 2 parts, like those. Fifth one is king had made him appointments to lead controversies among the aristocracy. Then the disputes which arose between the king and the bhikkhus. First one is king has given death to bhikkhus called Parantala Kudatero, and they accused them as traitors. Second one is king did not obtain the occurrence of the bhikkhus for the moderation activities that were implemented around the Maligawa. Third one is king has considered that the king did not took some advices from the bhikkhus to remove the Hoyampara temple and Saturadeva to facilitate the Bogambara tank. Then the third dispute among the top nobility. There were controversies between Molligoda and Ahaleppala. Second one is the chiefs of the administrative divisions belonging to the Kandian kingdom were act against them, and those chiefs were brought up. Then the disputes between the king and the general public. So this was happened because the king has killed Ahaleppala's wives and children, and the people who came from the Kandy from different areas such as Sabaragama and Satarakolya has to perform different service duties, and they are prohibited by the king, and they could not able to come to the Kandian kingdom during the night. And the king has given different kinds of punishments for the people even they did a small wrong activity. Then how do the Candian kingdom was invaded in 1815? So the invasion of the 1815 invasion was the Candian kingdom. Robert Browning, who was the governor of Ceylon, understood that they can only create the Candian kingdom to their side by having an advantage of the English. So on intelligent information that had been collected by John Doyle, they Halepolis' wife and children were on the was given punishment. So John Doyle, under John Doyle's information, they Halepal has sent an army for the protection of Halepal's wife and children. At that time, the people also gave the permission to come to the Kandy, and they were able to come to Kandy. So the 8 brigades were left for Kandy from Colombo, Galle, Negombo, Trincomalee and Batticaloa, and the invasion and they started the invasion of the Kandy. They entered the Kandy without facing any difficulty, and they were able to capture Kandy kingdom as well. Then the king and his 2 queens went to Madamahanuvara. They hide in Madamahanuvara, in Bomur and Madamahanuvara. Queen Rangamma, King Sri Vikramaditya is another wife. And they arrested King Sri Vikramaditya and brought to Vellore in India in 1860. So they signed a convention, a treaty called Kandian Convention with the English and the Sinhalese. So King Sri Vikramaditya was arrested, and they have signed an agreement in Magulmaduwa in Kandy in 2nd March 1815, and an English soldier hoisted the English flag by lowered the Sinhala flag. Then Varipura Sri Sumangala Thero, who was a brave monk, came forward and put the English flag down and hoisted the Sinhala flag again. So on behalf of the King George III of Britain and the chiefs of the Candian kingdom were signed to an agreement in 2nd March 2015. It is known as the Candian Convention. But according to Doyle's diary, some of the chiefs had been signed it on 10th March, and there were 12 main clauses of the Candian Convention. So this is the way how they has been signed. So that's the end of our part 2 video. I will be soon doing the part 3 and end this lesson as well. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.